Chosen one, scan your spirit right now. That pressure you have been feeling in your chest for the last 7 days. That sudden, unexplained anxiety that wakes you up at night when the house is quiet. Stop fighting it. That is not an attack. That is your spiritual sensor picking up a massive frequency shift before your eyes can see it. God is warning you. The billionaire shift is physically approaching your timeline. But listen closely, because this is the part nobody tells you. This is not a lottery win. This is not a game of luck. This is a retroactive military payment. Heaven is releasing a backlog of resources from your bloodline, wealth that was stolen from your ancestors, and dropping it into your hands for one specific reason. You have been drafted as a kingdom financier. God is not sending this overflow to make you comfortable. He is sending it to make you dangerous to the enemy. But here is the warning. If you try to hold this high-voltage blessing with a poverty mindset, it will short-circuit your life. You need the protocol. You need the clearance code. And if you stay with me, I am going to hand you the keys to the vault right now. You need to understand exactly what is happening in the spirit realm before we go any further. Most people will scroll past this because they are looking for a quick fix or a magic spell to pay their rent. But you are still here because your spirit knows this is different. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the 3-account system that prepares you for the overflow. I am going to expose the 5 specific spirits that chase high-level wealth so you can block them before they enter your home. And at the very end of this video, we are going to perform an activation ceremony to seal this new financial mantle over your life. Do not skip a second of this. This is not entertainment. This is your briefing for the transfer. If you miss the safety protocols, you cannot handle the power. So right now, I need to know who is ready to carry this weight. Who is part of the remnant that God is raising up to be the treasurers of the end times? If that is you, subscribe to this channel right now to lock in your alignment. Press the like button to signal to the spiritual realm that you are listening and you are awake. And I want you to make a declaration in the comments below. Do not just type words, type this with intention. Write, I am the vessel. Do it now. Let the enemy see that you are no longer operating in the shadows. Now, let us look at where you really are. I want to zoom into a moment that you have kept hidden from everyone. A moment that brings you shame, even though it should not. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. The world is asleep, but you are awake. You are sitting on the edge of your bed, or maybe you are sitting in your car in a parking lot, staring at the steering wheel. The only light comes from the blue glow of your phone screen. You are looking at a digital bank statement. You are scrolling through a PDF of bills, and you feel a physical knot in your stomach. It is cold. It is tight. It feels like a heavy stone sitting at the bottom of your gut. You look at the numbers, and they do not make sense. You work hard. You pray. You tithe. You help others. You have a heart of gold. And yet, the math does not add up. You feel like a lion trapped in a cage that is too small for you. There is a roar inside of you, a desire to build orphanages, to fund churches, to help your family, to change your community. You have billion-dollar dreams, but you are currently stuck in a $10 reality, and this disconnect creates a specific kind of pain. It is the humiliation of powerlessness. You ask God, why? Why did you give me this vision if you were not going to give me the provision? Why did you make me a king in the spirit, but leave me to live like a pauper in the natural? Is this a punishment? Did I do something wrong? Chosen one, listen to me. That anxiety you feel in that moment, that frustration that makes you want to scream, I want you to reframe it right now. That is not a sign of failure. That is a sign of misalignment. The reason you are in pain is because your internal frequency has already shifted to the billionaire setting, but your external reality is still lagging behind in poverty mode. The friction between who you are and where you are is causing that heat. It is not anxiety. It is kinetic energy waiting to be released. You see, the world tells you that you are anxious because you are broke. But the Holy Spirit is telling me that you are restless because you are pregnant with a purpose that requires resources you do not yet hold. You are not suffering from a lack of money. You are suffering from a lack of flow. You are a pipeline that was built to carry an ocean, but right now, you are only seeing a trickle. And that emptiness you feel is actually the groaning of a vessel that is demanding to be filled. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." Now, pay attention to the Hebrew word used there. It is not just money. The word is koach. It means vigor. It means force. It means the capacity to endure. It means the strength of a wild ox. God does not just give you cash. If He gave you cash without coach, the weight of the gold would crush your spine. He gives you the power, the capacity, the internal structure to create and sustain wealth. So, when you are sitting there at 2 a.m. looking at those bills, God is not looking at the debt. He is looking at the structure of your spirit. He is checking your koach. He is checking your capacity. Because the floodgates are about to open. The retroactive military payment is being processed. The billionaire shift is not a metaphor. It is a movement of resources. But here is the dangerous truth that we must face before the transfer happens. You think your problem is that you do not have enough money coming in. You think if God just dropped $1 million into your account today, all your problems would vanish. You are wrong. If God poured that level of heavy, high-voltage resources into your life right now with your current spiritual infrastructure, it would not save you. It would destroy you. Why? Because the problem is not the supply. The problem is the container. Imagine you are holding a bucket and you are praying for rain. You are begging God for a flood. But you do not realize that your bucket has a hole in the bottom. A hole created by mindset, by hidden fears, by generational trauma, by a misunderstanding of what this money is actually for. If God answers your prayer and sends the rain now, the water will flow right through you, and the force of the flood will rip the handle right off your bucket. You will be left with nothing but wet hands and a broken heart. So, the first step in this billionaire shift is not asking for more rain. It is fixing the bucket. We need to find the leak. We need to patch the hole. We need to reinforce the walls of your vessel so that when the transfer hits, you can hold it without cracking. And the leak is not what you think it is. It is not about spending too much on coffee. It is something far deeper. Something that has been programmed into your subconscious since you were a child. The leak in your bucket is not bad spending habits. The leak is your theology. Specifically, it is the lottery mindset that has infected the spiritual community. Let me speak to the raw, unfiltered thought that is swimming in the back of your mind right now. I know it is there because I have sat where you are sitting. You look at the news. You look at social media, and you see people who are less spiritual than you, less kind than you, maybe even wicked people, living in absolute overflow. They have the cars, they have the houses, they have the freedom. And there is a voice in your head that whispers, "God, why them? Why do you bless the ones who do not even know your name? While I am here serving you, praying to you, fasting for you, and I can barely keep the lights on. You find yourself secretly wishing for a rescue mission. You play out scenarios in your head while you are driving. You imagine checking your bank account and seeing a magical deposit. You imagine a distant relative leaving you an inheritance. You are waiting for God to hit the lottery button for you. You think that if God just gave you the money, everything would be fixed. Chosen one, listen to me. That is the leak. That expectation of a magical rescue without preparation is exactly why the transfer has not happened yet. Because if God gave you millions right now, while you are in this passive state of waiting, you would not be a master of that wealth. You would be a victim of it. The lottery mindset says, I need money to solve my problems. The kingdom mindset says, I need capacity to solve the world's problems, and money is just the tool I use to do it. God is not going to give you a lottery win. He loves you too much to treat you like a charity case. He is going to give you something far more dangerous and far more permanent. He is giving you an assignment. This billionaire shift is not a reward for your suffering. It is a deployment for your destiny. Let us go back to the manual. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. I mentioned this earlier, but we need to perform surgery on this verse right now. It says, He gives you the power to get wealth. In English, we read over that word power, and we think it means permission. We think God is saying, okay, I allow you to be rich. No. The Hebrew word used there is koach. Say that in your spirit. Koach. It is a reptilian, muscular word. It implies the strength of a lizard that can regenerate its tail. It implies the endurance of an ox that can plow a field for 12 hours without stopping. Coach is not a check in the mail. Coach is an engine. It is a divine generator placed inside your spirit that manufactures wealth out of thin air. When God gives you coach, He is not giving you the fruit. He is giving you the root system. He is giving you the ability to look at a crisis and see a solution that is worth billions. He is giving you the stamina to withstand the pressure of high-level decision-making. He is giving you the authority to command resources to come to you. So, stop looking for the fruit and start checking your engine. The reason you feel frustrated is that you are asking God for apples, and He is trying to plant an orchard inside your chest. He does not want you to have money for a season. He wants you to have the power to generate wealth for generations. He wants you to be a fountain, not a puddle. A puddle waits for rain. A fountain draws from a deep, unseen source and pushes the water up. You are shifting from puddle thinking to fountain thinking. Now, you might be asking, but what about the years I lost? What about the struggle? What about the debt that is strangling me right now? I hear you. And this brings us to the most explosive concept in this entire broadcast. This is the legal basis for the billionaire shift. It is a Hebrew concept called shalom. You have heard of shalom, meaning peace. But shalom is the root, and it means something much more aggressive. It means to make whole. It means restitution. But in biblical law, restitution is never one-to-one. If a thief steals from you and is caught, the law says he must pay back sevenfold. He must restore not just what he took, but he must add interest, penalty, and damages. Think about the last 10 years of your life. Think about the stress, the sleepless nights, the opportunities that were blocked, the relationships that were poisoned by financial lack. That was not just bad luck. That was theft. The enemy, the devourer, has been stealing from your potential. But here is the good news. God is the just judge, and He has looked at the books of your life. He has seen the theft, and He has issued a decree of shalom. This means the billionaire shift coming to you is not random. It is back pay. It is retroactive interest on every tear you cried. It is the sevenfold return on every seed you sowed in the ground during the famine. Imagine for a moment, in your mind's eye, a courtroom in heaven. The gavel has just come down. The judge has ruled in your favor. The enemy has been ordered to pay up. This is why the shift is so massive. It is not just your salary. It is the accumulated interest of generations of righteous struggle in your bloodline. It is the wealth of the wicked that was stored up, now being released to the just. But here is the catch, and this is the cliffhanger that you must understand. You have the promise of Shalom. That is the rain coming. You have the access to Koach. That is the power to generate. But Koach demands a structure to flow through. Electricity needs a grid. Water needs pipes. If the Hoover Dam released all its water today, and you only had a garden hose to catch it, the pressure would explode the hose. Most chosen ones are standing under the floodgates of heaven holding a spoon. You are asking for an ocean. But your structure, your habits, your management systems, your emotional capacity is built for a teaspoon. If God answered your prayer today, the blessing would become a curse. It would wash you away. So the question is not, will God send the money? The question is, do you have the bucket or do you have the spoon? Do you have the war chest or do you just have a checking account? In the next few minutes, I am going to show you how to build the bucket. I am going to give you the blueprint for the 3-account system that turns you from a consumer into a commander. To build this bucket, you need to mentally walk with me into a specific location. I want you to visualize yourself sitting at a heavy oak desk in a quiet room. There is no clutter. There are no unpaid bills scattered on the surface. There is just a laptop open to your banking dashboard. This is not a fantasy. This is a prophetic rehearsal of your future reality. On that screen, you do not see one checking account that you frantically swipe your card against until it declines. That is the behavior of an orphan, not a steward. Instead, you see 3 distinct vaults. This is the 3-account system that governs the flow of the billionaire shift. The first account is the storehouse. This is not a savings account. This is a sacred account. In the ancient world, the storehouse was where the first fruits were kept. It was the portion that belonged to God. When the transfer hits your life, the very first movement of that money must be into the storehouse. This is your tithe, your offering, your seed. Why? Because if you consume the first portion, you curse the rest of the harvest. You are telling God, I trust my stomach more than I trust your supply. The storehouse is your spiritual insurance policy. It declares that you are a channel, not a dam. The second account is the war chest. This is the one you are missing. This is the reason you are still stuck. The war chest is not for spending. It is not for a new car. It is not for a vacation. It is for Koach. It is capital. It is ammunition. This money sits here and waits for a divine instruction to multiply. It is the money you use to buy the land, to start the business, to invest in the kingdom project. It is the seed for your future empire. If you eat your seed, you have no future. The war chest is where you prove you can be trusted with power. The third account is the bread. This is for you. This is for your food, your shelter, your clothes. This is what you live on. The fatal mistake of the poverty mindset is that when money comes in, it goes straight to the bread account. You eat everything, and then you wonder why you have no power. The protocol of the billionaire shift reverses this flow. Money hits the storehouse first, then the war chest. And only what remains goes to the bread. You must learn to live on the remainder so you can govern with the surplus. Now, you might be thinking, but I barely have enough for bread now. How can I split it 3 ways? Chosen one, you do not wait until you are rich to start this system. You start this system to become rich. Even if you only have $10, you split it. $1 to the storehouse, $2 to the war chest, $7 for bread. You are building the neural pathways of a billionaire in your brain before the billion arrives. You are patching the hole in your bucket. I need to show you why this is life or death. I am going to tell you a story about a man I will call Michael. This is a true story. Michael was a chosen one, just like you. He prayed for a breakthrough for 20 years. He was kind, he was generous, but he had no vessel. He had no war chest. One day, the breakthrough happened. Through a series of miraculous events, he received a lump sum of $10 million. It was the transfer he had prayed for. I want you to zoom into the moment he got the check. Picture him standing in the lobby of the bank, holding that piece of paper. His hands were shaking. He felt like he had won. He thought the war was over. But he had a spoon, not a bucket. He poured that $10 million into one big bread account. He bought the mansion. He bought the cars for his friends. He gave money to every relative who cried a tear. He thought the supply was endless. 2 years later, I want you to see him again. He is sitting on the floor of that empty mansion. The furniture has been repossessed. The power has been cut off. The echo of his footsteps in the hallway sounds like an accusation. He is not just broke. He is broken. He is in debt. He is depressed. And he is angry at God. He screams at the ceiling, "Why did you give this to me if you were going to take it away?" But God did not take it away. Michael threw it away. He consumed his seed. He ate his war chest. He did not have the internal structure to carry the weight of glory, so the glory crushed him. The blessing became a burden because he lacked the architecture of stewardship. I am telling you this not to scare you, but to save you. You are Michael before the fall. You have the chance right now to build the accounts before the deposit clears. So why haven't you done this yet? Why is there resistance in your spirit even as I speak? Let us do some shadow work right now. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, right where you are. Do not move your body. Just turn your gaze inward. Look at the resistance. It feels like a tightening in your throat, doesn't it? It feels like a hesitation. There is a raw, ugly thought hiding behind that hesitation. It whispers, "If I organize my money, I have to be responsible for it. As long as I am broke, I can be a victim. I can blame the economy. I can blame the system. I can blame God. But if I build the vessel and the money comes and I fail, it is all on me." You are afraid of responsibility. You are afraid that money will change you. You have heard the lie your whole life that money is the root of all evil. You have seen rich people who are arrogant and cruel, and you made an inner vow, a secret promise to yourself when you were a child, that you would never be like them. So, subconsciously, you push money away. You sabotage your own blessing because you equate poverty with holiness. You need to break that agreement right now. In your mind, visualize that vow like a heavy gray coat you have been wearing for decades. It smells like dust and shame. It is the coat of the victim. With your spiritual hands, I want you to grip the collar of that coat, feel the texture of it, and on the count of 3, in your imagination, I want you to rip it off your shoulders and throw it into the fire. 1, 2, 3. Throw it. Feel the air hit your skin. You are free from the lie. Money is not evil. Money is neutral. Money is a magnifying glass. If you are good, money makes you better. If you are generous, money makes you a philanthropist. If you are a kingdom warrior, money gives you a sword. You have the system now, the storehouse, the war chest, the bread. You have ripped off the coat of poverty, but there is still one thing holding you back. A lingering doubt. A voice that says, "But where is this money actually coming from? Is it really God, or is it a trap?" You are ready for the truth. You are ready to know the specific origin of this billionaire shift. And I have to warn you, what I am about to tell you will challenge everything you thought you knew about how God operates. It involves a transfer from a source you would never expect. You have ripped off the coat of poverty. You have set up the 3-account system in your mind, but there is still a hesitation in your spirit. I can feel it. It is a quiet, nagging fear that you have been afraid to voice out loud because it sounds ungrateful. But we are going to drag it into the light right now. You are afraid that this money is going to change you. You are afraid that if the billionaire shift actually happens, if you actually wake up with 7 figures in your account, you will lose your soul. You will lose your connection with God. You will become like the arrogant, greedy people who have hurt you in the past. This fear is not irrational. You have seen it happen. You have seen people get a little bit of power and turn into monsters. You have seen pastors get rich and stop preaching the truth. You have seen friends get a promotion and stop returning your calls. And deep down, you love God so much that you would rather stay broke and close to Him than get rich and drift away. That is a noble fear, but it is based on a lie. Here is the truth about money. Money is not a corrupter. Money is a revealer. Money is a spiritual magnifying glass. If you are arrogant and broke, money will make you a tyrant. But if you are generous and broke, money will make you a philanthropist. If you are kind when you have nothing, money will give your kindness a global reach. The fact that you are even worried about this proves that you are safe. The arrogant do not worry about losing their soul. The greedy do not care about their character. Your fear is the proof of your qualification. But now, chosen one, we have arrived at the moment of truth. This is the turning point of everything. I need you to lean in close. I need you to silence every distraction in the room, because I am about to reveal the true source of this billionaire shift, and it is not what you think. It is not what you have been taught in Sunday school. You have been operating under the assumption that for you to be blessed, God has to create new money. You think He has to print it in heaven and drop it down to earth. You think this wealth is a gift. You are wrong. This wealth is not a gift, it is a reassignment. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22 says, "The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just." Read that again in your spirit. Laid up. That means it is being stored. It is being stockpiled. It is being managed. But who is managing it? The sinner, the wicked, the enemies of God. For generations, the enemy has been hoarding the resources of this planet. He has used the gold, the land, the media, the technology to build his kingdom, to push his agenda, to silence the truth, and to oppress God's people. He has been squatting on property that does not belong to him. He has been spending money that has your name on the deed. But the lease is up. This billionaire shift is not a lottery. It is a hostile takeover. It is a divine asset recovery operation. God is not blessing you. He is recruiting you. He is tired of seeing his resources used to fund darkness. He is looking for a safe house. He is looking for a place to move the assets where they will be used for his glory. And he has looked at the earth. He has scanned the hearts of millions, and his eyes have landed on you. I want you to hear what the Spirit of God is saying to the enemy right now. I want you to hear the direct dialogue happening in the courts of heaven. God is standing up from his throne, pointing at the stockpiles of the wicked, and saying, "You have held it long enough. You have abused it long enough. You have used my gold to build idols. You have used my silver to enslave my children. But today, I am initiating the transfer protocol. I am taking the keys from your hand, and I am placing them in the hand of my chosen one. Not because they are perfect, but because they are purified. They have the war chest. They have the structure. Hand it over. This changes everything. Do you feel the shift in your identity? You are not a consumer waiting for a handout. You are a kingdom spy behind enemy lines. You are an asset recovery agent. When the money hits your account, it is not your money to spend on vanity. It is recovered contraband that you are now stewarding for the king. This explains why the attack on your life has been so vicious. The enemy wasn't attacking you because you were weak. He was attacking you because you were the threat to his funding. He knew that if you ever woke up, if you ever realized who you were, if you ever built the vessel, God would use you to drain his accounts. You are not just a believer. You are a financial weapon of mass destruction against the kingdom of darkness. So, let us perform an exorcism right now, not of a demon, but of an identity. We are going to cast out the consumer identity and activate the commander identity. I want you to do a mental action with me. You can do this with your eyes open or closed. I want you to visualize yourself standing in a large warehouse. It is dimly light. In the center of the room, there is a table. On one side of the table stands a shadowy figure. That is the enemy. He is holding a heavy iron key. He is angry. He is trembling. He does not want to let it go. On the other side of the table is you. But you are not the old you. You are wearing the armor of a general. You are standing tall. Behind you stands the Lion of Judah. God speaks one word. Release. Watch the enemy's hand open. Watch him slam that iron key onto the table and back away into the darkness. Now, in your mind, I want you to reach out and pick up that key. Feel the cold metal in your hand. Feel the weight of it. That is the key to the storehouse of the wicked. It is now in your possession. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Inhale the authority. Exhale the victim mentality. You have the key. The transfer has been legally authorized. The loop is closed. The billionaire shift is simply the return of stolen property to its rightful owner. But now a new question arises, a dangerous question. Now that you have the key, now that you know this is war money, what do you actually do with it? How do you spend money that is meant for war without blowing your cover? How do you live in Babylon but operate by the banking laws of Zion? If you start spending this money like a lottery winner, you will expose your position. If you buy the flashy cars and the big chains just to show off to your haters, you are not acting like a spy, you are acting like a target. A spy does not draw attention to themselves. A spy moves in silence. A spy uses resources to infiltrate, to influence, and to liberate, without the enemy even knowing who hit him. You need a new strategy. You need to know how to deploy this capital with the precision of a sniper. You need to know how to walk into a room and shift the atmosphere with your wallet without saying a word. This is the new paradigm of the wealthy believer. We are not here to look rich. We are here to be dangerous. But listen to me very carefully. This is the warning I promised you. This is the cliffhanger that you cannot ignore. When you picked up that key in the spirit realm, a silent alarm was triggered in the headquarters of hell. The enemy knows he has lost the assets. He knows the transfer has begun. He cannot stop God from giving it to you, but he can try to stop you from keeping it. He is not going to send a demon with pitchforks and horns. That would be too obvious. You would rebuke that in a second. No, he is smart. He is strategic. He is going to send 5 specific assassins to your doorstep. They will not look like monsters. They will look like friends. They will look like opportunities. They will look like your own emotions. They are the 5 assassins of the treasury, and they are dispatched with one mission: to make you fumble the bag, to make you disqualify yourself before the check clears. They are coming for your character. They are coming for your ego. They are coming for your relationships. The first assassin is already watching you. He is waiting for the moment the first 0 hits your bank account. And if you do not know his face, if you do not know his name, he will take you out before you even write your first check. Who are they? And how do you defeat them? Stay focused, because the war is just beginning. The first assassin is the spirit of Mammon. You have heard this name in church, but you have never seen his face like this. Mammon is not just the love of money. Mammon is an ancient, intelligent spirit that demands to be your master. When you are broke, Mammon ignores you. But the moment the billionaire shift begins, Mammon knocks on your door and offers you a deal. He says, "I will give you security if you give me your anxiety." He whispers, "You do not need to pray for daily bread anymore. You have a full account. You are safe now." Do you see the trap? Mammon wants you to trust the deposit more than the depositor. He wants you to look at your bank balance to determine your mood. If the number is high, you are happy. If the number drops, you are depressed. That is the sign that Mammon has taken the throne. He wants to disconnect you from the source by making you fall in love with the resource. The second assassin is the spirit of guilt. This is the ghost of your past poverty, coming back to haunt your future prosperity. As the blessings start to pour in, this spirit will stand at the foot of your bed and whisper, "You do not deserve this. Look at your family. They are struggling. Who do you think you are to live in overflow? You should be ashamed." This spirit weaponizes your empathy. It tries to make you feel like a criminal for receiving the shalom of God. It wants you to sabotage your own success just to stay in solidarity with the suffering. It tells you that poverty is humble and wealth is arrogant. That is a lie from the pit of hell, designed to make you reject the very ammunition God is sending you. The third assassin is the spirit of the consumer. This is the hole in the bucket I warned you about. This spirit is a hunger that can never be filled. It tells you that the purpose of money is to upgrade your lifestyle, not your impact. It says, "You suffered for 10 years. You deserve a reward. Buy the car, buy the watch. Show them you made it." The consumer spirit will make you eat your seed before it ever hits the ground. It turns a general into a glutton. It wants you to look rich instead of being wealthy. The fourth assassin is the spirit of pride. This one is subtle. It does not look like evil. It looks like success. It tells you, "You did this. You worked hard. You manifested this." It erases the memory of God's grace and replaces it with your own ego. When pride enters, God exits. And when God exits, the protection lifts, and the devourer comes back 7 times stronger. But now, chosen one, we must confront the fifth assassin. This is the most dangerous one of all. This is the one that will hurt you the most because it wears the face of people you love. This is the leech. I need you to zoom in to a specific moment that is coming for you. It might be a family barbecue. It might be a holiday dinner. Or maybe just a random phone call on a Tuesday night. The billionaire shift has started to manifest in your life. You have paid off your debts. You have bought a nice house. You are walking in a new level of confidence. And then the leech approaches you. This is a family member or a close friend who has watched your struggle but never helped you. But now that you are up, they are suddenly very present. Listen to the direct dialogue. Listen to the script they use because it is designed to bypass your logic and trigger your emotions. They pull you aside and say, "Hey, I am so proud of you. I always knew you would make it." Then comes the pause. Then comes the sigh. They look down at their shoes and say, "I did not want to ask, but I am in a really tight spot right now. The car broke down. The rent is due. I just need a few thousand. It is nothing to you, right? You have so much now. We are family." You would not let your own blood suffer, would you? Do you hear the manipulation? Do you feel the hook? They are weaponizing your shared history. They are using your blood connection to demand access to your kingdom resources. And if you say no, the mask falls off. The tone changes instantly. They say, "Oh, I see how it is. You think you are better than us now. You got a little money and you forgot where you came from. You changed. You are selfish. I remember when I bought you lunch 5 years ago. Is this how you repay me?" This is the assassination attempt. The leech does not want a loan. They want a lifeline. They do not want to be empowered. They want to be enabled. And if you give in to this emotional blackmail, you are not helping them. You are funding their dysfunction. You are taking the holy resources from your war chest money meant to build the kingdom, and you are pouring it into a black hole. You must understand the spiritual dynamic here. The leech believes they are entitled to your harvest without sharing in your labor. They want the shalom without the suffering. And the enemy is using their voice to drain you dry. He knows that if he can tie your finances to a dead weight, you will never be able to fly. Let us unpack the biblical context for this confrontation. Luke chapter 16, verse 11. Jesus says, "Therefore, if you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches?" We need to dive deep into the context here. This is the parable of the shrewd manager. Jesus calls money unrighteous mammon. Why? Because in this world, money is tainted. It is temporary. It is part of a fallen system. But here is the revelation. God uses this tainted, temporary, worldly money as a test for your eternal promotion. He is saying, "I am watching how you handle the paper. I am watching how you handle the dollars. If you let the leech manipulate you out of your money, how can I trust you with spiritual authority? If you let guilt paralyze you, how can I trust you with souls? If you bow to mammon, how can I trust you with power?" Money is the training ground. It is the simulator. God is not giving you the billionaire shift just to see if you can be rich. He is giving it to you to see if you can be faithful. Can you say no to your mother when her request violates God's instruction for your war chest? Can you say no to your ego when it wants to buy a toy instead of a tool? Can you stand firm as a steward when the whole world is pressuring you to be a spender? This is the ultimate test of the steward. And right now, I want you to perform a mental action to sever the cords of the leech. You do not need to call them. You do not need to fight them physically. We are going to do this in the spirit. I want you to close your eyes and visualize yourself standing in a circle of light. This is your stewardship boundary. Outside of this circle, in the shadows, you see the cord's thick, grey ropes extending from the darkness, trying to latch onto your waist, onto your wallet, onto your heart. These are the expectations of others. These are the manipulative words of the leech. These are the guilt trips of the past. In your hand, you are holding a sword of blue fire. This is the sword of truth. I want you to take a deep breath, and as you exhale, I want you to swing that sword around you in a 360-degree arc. Cut the cords. Visualize them snapping. Visualize them falling to the ground and dissolving into dust. Say this in your mind: I owe no man anything but love. My resources belong to God. I am a steward, not a savior. I cannot save you with money. I can only point you to the source. Feel the release of pressure. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. You are free from the obligation to fund the dysfunction of others. You are free to obey God without apology. But now, chosen one, you are facing a new problem. You have identified the enemy. You have cut the cords. You have locked the door against mammon and guilt. But you are standing on a battlefield with a war chest full of money, and you are surrounded by targets. You know who the enemy is, but you do not know how to fight him effectively. If you just start throwing money at every problem you see, you will run out of ammunition before you win the war. You cannot just be a giver. You must be a strategic investor. You cannot just spray bullets. You need to be a sniper. You need a weapon. A specific method of deploying capital that causes maximum damage to the kingdom of darkness while keeping your cover intact. You need to know the Joseph protocol for the years of plenty and the sniper giving method for the day of battle. Without these weapons, you are just a rich civilian. With them, you become a kingdom general. The weapon is ready. The blueprint is on the table. Are you ready to pick it up? The weapon is on the table. It does not look like a sword. It does not look like a gun. It looks like a checkbook. It looks like a banking app on your phone. To the world, this is just a tool for commerce. But to a kingdom general, this is a launch pad for spiritual missiles. You have cut the cords of the leech. You have silenced the voice of guilt. Now, you must learn how to attack. Most Christians practice what I call shotgun giving. They spray money everywhere based on emotion. They see a sad commercial, they give $10. Their cousin calls crying, they give $50. They feel guilty at church. They drop a 20 in the bucket. This is reactive. It is weak. It makes you feel better for a moment, but it changes nothing in the spirit realm. It is like shooting a shotgun into the dark. You make a lot of noise, but you hit no targets. The billionaire shift requires you to upgrade from a shotgun to a sniper rifle. This is the first weapon I am handing you. The sniper giving method. I want you to visualize this with me. Close your eyes and see yourself holding your phone. You have opened your banking app. You are not trembling. You are not worried about your balance. You are calm. You have identified a specific target. Maybe it is a single mother who is praying for rent. Maybe it is a small ministry that is actually doing the work but is about to close its doors. You do not call them. You do not ask for credit. You do not post about it on social media. You operate in total silence. You type in the amount, and it is not a small amount. It is an amount that solves the problem completely. It is a breakthrough amount. You hover your thumb over the transfer button. In your mind, I want you to feel the weight of that digital button. It is a trigger. When you press it, you are not just moving currency. You are launching a spiritual airstrike against the spirit of poverty attacking that person. You are breaking a generational curse off their life. Press the button. Boom. The money is sent. The target is hit. The enemy's grip is broken, and you disappear back into the shadows. That is sniper giving. It is strategic. It is silent. It is lethal to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy hates this kind of giving because he cannot manipulate it. He cannot use your pride against you because nobody knows you did it. He cannot use your guilt because you did it out of power, not pity. Your mission is to find 3 targets in the next 30 days. Do not tell them. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Just release the missile and watch the walls of Jericho fall in their lives. This is how you use the war chest. But you cannot fire the weapon if you run out of ammunition. A sniper rifle is useless without bullets. And this brings us to the most critical management framework for the billionaire shift. How do you ensure that you never run dry? How do you ensure that when the famine comes, and it always comes, you are the one selling the grain, not the one begging for it? You need the Joseph Protocol. We need to go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 41. We need to decode the pattern of the first billionaire in the Bible. Joseph did not become the ruler of Egypt because he could interpret dreams. He became the ruler because he had an economic strategy. Pharaoh dreamed of 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows. Everyone else saw cows. Joseph saw a market cycle. He saw 7 years of overflow, followed by 7 years of total economic collapse. And he implemented a specific protocol that saved the world. He did not eat all the corn during the good years. He created a storehouse system. Technique number 2, pattern recognition. Look at the math. Joseph took 20% of the harvest during the years of plenty and locked it away. He automated the savings. He did not ask the people if they wanted to save. He made it a law. He forced the surplus into the reserve. And when the famine hit, when the stock markets crashed, when the real estate bubble burst, Egypt was the only nation with bread. The world came to Joseph to buy. The wealth of the nations was transferred to Egypt, not because they conquered them with swords, but because they conquered them with stewardship. The billionaire shift is your season of 7 fat cows. It is coming. But if you eat all 7 cows, the skinny cows will eat you. You must implement the Joseph Protocol right now, even before the millions arrive. Here is the rule, the 20/80 rule. From this day forward, you make a covenant with God. 20% of everything that comes into your hands leaves your sight immediately. It does not go to the bread account. It goes to the storehouse and the war chest. I want you to perform a micro-action in your mind. Imagine you are logging into your bank account settings. You are finding the automatic transfer feature. You are setting a rule. Every time a deposit hits, 20% is automatically swept away into a vault that you do not touch. Visualize yourself clicking Save Settings. Feel the relief wash over your body. You have just automated your discipline. You have just removed your emotions from the equation. You are no longer relying on your willpower to save. You are relying on a system. This is how you build a dynasty. You treat that 20% as if it does not exist. It is not your money. It is your future's money. It is the seed for the famine. When you live by the Joseph Protocol, you walk differently. You walk with the confidence of a man who has a full barn while the world is panicking about the price of wheat. You become a stabilizer in a chaotic world. So now you have the full arsenal. You have the identity of the commander. You have the defense against the leech. You have the offense of the sniper giving method. And you have the sustainability of the Joseph Protocol. Everything is established. The foundation is poured. The walls are up. The weapon is loaded. You are standing in the position of authority. You are ready to receive. But there is one final piece missing. The most important piece. You can build the altar. You can arrange the wood. You can lay the sacrifice on top, but only God can send the fire. You are asking, Lord, when? When do I start? When does the first drop of rain fall? You need a sign. You need a confirmation from headquarters that your activation has been processed and the release order has been signed. You do not need to guess. God is precise. He operates on timelines. There is a specific sign that is going to appear in your life. It is not a vague feeling. It is a concrete, undeniable marker that the billionaire shift has crossed the threshold from the spirit realm into the physical realm. And according to the prophetic timeline, this sign is scheduled to appear within the next 40 days. What is this sign? And what must you do the moment you see it to capture the transfer? You are asking for the sign. You have built the bucket. You have loaded the weapon. You have severed the cords. But your human mind is still looking for logic. You are asking, does this actually work? Is this real, or is it just a theory? I need to anchor your faith before we seal this. I need to tell you about a kingdom general I know. Let us call him David. 3 years ago, David was exactly where you are right now. He was a good man. He loved God. But he was drowning. His business had collapsed. He was driving a car with a check engine light that he could not afford to fix. He was living in the guest room of a relative's house. The humiliation was a physical weight on his chest every single morning. He felt like God had abandoned him. But then, David stopped begging and started building. He implemented the 3-account system, even though he only had $50 to his name. He set up the Joseph protocol, automating 20% of that tiny $50 into a vault he could not touch. It seemed insane. The math did not work. His logic screamed at him to spend it on food. But his spirit said, build the structure. Then he used the sniper giving method. He found a widow in his church who needed groceries. He did not tell her. He did not post it. He anonymously transferred the last of his bread account to her. He fired the missile. 40 days later, the shift happened. It did not happen the way he thought. He did not win the lottery. He received a phone call from a contact he had not spoken to in 7 years. A contract that had been stuck in legal purgatory for a decade was suddenly released. The amount was not just enough to pay his debt. It was enough to buy the house he was sleeping in. I asked David, what did it feel like right before the call came? And this is what he told me. He said, it felt like the air in the room got heavy. It felt like I was vibrating. I felt a sense of terrified excitement, like I was standing on the edge of a cliff and the wind was pushing me off. David is now a kingdom general. He funds orphanages. He backs businesses. He does not worry about money because he knows he is the manager of God's war chest. And the same God who did it for David is positioning you right now. The structure is the same. The principles are the same. The God is the same. Now, let us talk about your timeline. You want to know when. God operates in cycles, and the cycle of transformation is 40 days. It rained for 40 days in Noah's time to wash away the old world. The spies were in Canaan for 40 days. Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days. I am prophesying to you right now. We are entering a 40-day window of acceleration. From the moment you finish this video and activate the seal, a spiritual clock begins to tick. Over the next 40 days, you are going to see specific signs that the transfer has been authorized. I want you to write these down in your mind. Do not look for them. Let them find you. The first sign is the number of new beginnings. You are going to see the number 888, 888. You will see it on receipts. You will see it on license plates. You will see it in transaction timestamps. In biblical numerology, 8 is the number of new beginnings, but 3 8s represents the gematria of Jesus, the abundance of the new covenant. When you see this number, do not brush it off as a coincidence. It is a notification from the banking system of heaven that your account status is being updated from debtor to lender. The second sign is a somatic shift in your hands. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, "He gives you the power to get wealth." That word, power, koach, is physical. In the next 40 days, you are going to feel unexpected heat or tingling in the palms of your hands, specifically in your palms. It might happen while you are driving. It might happen while you are sleeping. This is the anointing for acquisition. It is your hands being spiritually magnetized to catch resources. When you feel this heat, do not shake it off. Open your hands and say, "I receive the capacity." The third sign is the scent of the storehouse. This sounds strange to the natural mind, but familiar to the spiritual senses. You will catch a sudden, unexplained scent of cedar or rain. Cedar was the wood used to build Solomon's temple, the house of God's wealth. Rain is the symbol of the harvest returning. You will be sitting in a dry room, and suddenly you will smell the ozone of a thunderstorm. You will smell the wood of the temple. This is the olfactory evidence that the atmosphere of your home is changing from a desert to a garden. The fourth sign is the glitch. This is the one that usually scares people. You might experience strange electronic disruptions. Your phone might freeze. Your computer might glitch. Lights might flicker. Why? Because the spiritual voltage you are carrying is increasing. The frequency of the billionaire shift is high energy, and sometimes it interferes with low-frequency electronics. When your tech acts up in the next 40 days, do not get angry. Smile. It is proof that your energy field is expanding. These are the markers. The 40-day clock is winding. The signs are prepared. The general has gone before you. The weapon is in your pocket. The structure is built. We have talked enough. We have analyzed enough. We have learned the frameworks. But knowledge without activation is just information. It is dead weight. You did not come here to learn another theory. You came here to step into a new dimension. The time for teaching is over. The time for activation is now. We are about to enter the Holy of Holies. We are about to seal this word in the courts of heaven. We are about to commission you as a dangerous steward of kingdom wealth. You have heard enough. Now it is time to act. If you are sitting in a safe place, I want you to physically stand up right now. If you are driving or cannot move, I want you to stand up in your spirit. Straighten your spine, pull your shoulders back, lift your chin. You are not a beggar asking for a crumb. You are a general reporting for duty. The king is entering the room. We are about to stamp the release order. Are you ready? We are crossing the threshold now. This is not a prayer request. This is a coronation. If you can stand, stand. If you cannot, visualize your spirit standing tall, fully armored, in the center of a great hall. The cloud of witnesses is watching. The angels of finance are standing at attention. The king is on the throne. We are about to legally activate your status as a kingdom financier. Silence your mind, focus your intent. The court is in session. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, I declare that the portals of heaven are now open over your life. I call forth your spirit man to come to the front. I speak to the dormant destiny inside of you. Wake up. The season of the wilderness is over. The season of stewardship has begun. Father, we acknowledge the vessel standing before you. You have seen their tears at 2 a.m. You have seen the shame they carried when the card declined. You have seen the years the locusts have eaten. You have seen the faithfulness in the little things when no one was watching. We do not hide the pain today. We place it on the altar as a sacrifice. And we ask for the fire of Shalom to consume the pain and replace it with power. I now stand in agreement with this chosen one to seal the protocols of the kingdom into their DNA. I seal the 3-account system into your mind. I declare that you will no longer eat your seed. You will have the discipline to fill the storehouse, the wisdom to build the war chest, and the contentment to live on the bread. May this structure be unshakable. I seal the Joseph protocol into your habits. I declare that the spirit of the waster is broken off your life. You will save the 20%. You will rule over the famine. You will be a lender to many nations and a borrower from none. I seal the sniper giving method into your hands. I anoint your fingers to release resources with precision and power. When you give, demons will flee. When you sow, strongholds will break. You are a weapon of mass restoration. And now, I turn to the enemies that have chased you. By the authority of the highest name, I bind the spirit of mammon. You have no legal ground here. Loose your hold. I bind the spirit of guilt. You are a liar. This wealth is clean. I bind the spirit of the leech. We cut every ungodly soul tie and every manipulative cord. We declare a firewall of protection around this chosen one's finances. No weapon formed against their accounts shall prosper. Hear the decree of the king. I decree the billionaire shift is now active in your timeline. I command the north, south, east, and west to give up what they are holding for you. I call in the retroactive military payment. I speak to the invoices of the past. Be paid. I speak to the debts of the present. Be cancelled. I speak to the investments of the future. Be multiplied. I release the anointing of Koach into your spirit. Receive the power to create. Receive the stamina to sustain. Receive the wisdom to multiply. You are not a survivor. You are a commander. You are not a victim. You are a victory. Chosen one, the mantle has been placed on your shoulders. The key is in your hand. The sign is coming. Do not look back at Sodom. Do not look back at the lack. Look at the harvest. I commission you to go forth and plunder the camp of the enemy. Build the kingdom. Feed the hungry. Liberate the captives. Be dangerous for God. It is sealed. It is done. It is yours. Walk in it.